I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledged knowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasting like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the #1 Chief Rock in Knicks universe. Your main man's Uncle Freezy. What's good, y'all? Y'all want this party started right? Y'all want this party started quickly, right? All right. Blue tears, orange tears, orange tears is in the building. What's good? What's good? What's good, y'all? What's good? Salute to David L., Miss Geraldine, the hip-hop legend called Mega. What is good, y'all? David L. says, RJ outplayed all the Cavs small forwards by himself. Okay, I see you. Adam is in the building. Okay. All right. I see Adam. All right. How y'all feel about this win tonight, man? We got a win, and to me, it feels good. Ed Winning is in the building. Hey, Ed. Ed, when I saw your comment, man, I didn't get a chance to reply to it, man. I read the comments a lot on the videos and such. Sometimes I just don't get a chance to reply to them, man, because it's like so many and then so much stuff going on. Lawrence Tears is like 24/7. Lawrence Tears is like 24/7, man. So, but thank you for the comment, though. I like the Jerry Stackhouse comparison. That was all right. That was all right. Right? Man. I'm excited, man, about this thing. Man, I ain't sending the link out to nobody, man. Let me throw the link in the chat, man. It's just been a real busy hour or so or two, man. It's just, man, been crazy. Doing videos, posting videos and such. Let me throw the link in the chat. It's just been a busy time, man. All right. King Ribby is in the building. David L. says, salute to all the Knicks fans. Salute to all of y'all. Yeah, man. Salute to all of y'all, man. Let me do a little something. I want to have some conversation tonight, man. Some real Knicks conversation. Let me move some of these things around. All right, let me do this and that, and then that. All right, and then move this around here. Okay, all right, I see you. Yeah, man. So, okay. Nev the Disruptor is in the building. Let me see. I think I put the link in. Did I put that link? Yeah. There it is. Okay. All right. So let me get started with okay, well, let me not get started. Let me start off with this.
That's right.
What's good? What's good, man?
What's good, boss? Get that energy warrior up. Salute to the panel. Salute to the chat. Everybody in the chat, get the energy up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. You got your energy up, Breezy?
Of course.
Yeah, man. We got a W. That's all that counts.
Yeah. All right, let me call out. Let me call. There he is. There he is. Smoke, what's good, boss?
Salute to you, man.
Well, what's good? What's good? We was just now watching you.
Yeah, man.
Smoking Nick. What's good?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we was just watching you a little while ago, like 10 minutes. Well, no, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, I went in just a little bit, nothing crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We saw you. I was watching. I had you on the big screen. Luke Skywalker Visions is in the building.
Julius Randle dragging us, man, like as usual.
Yeah. I'm gonna get this thing up. Yo, Wiz Ashley Inc. said something yesterday that when he said it, I knew it was wrong. Right? When he said it, I knew it was wrong. But you know how people have their own opinion, so you let them rock. And I wanted to throw a life preserver out there for Wiz, but he was so passionate yesterday that I was just like, maybe there might be something to it, even though I knew it was wrong.
What did he say? I'm curious.
He said Julius Randle should stop shooting the three.
He always say that though. That's not something I heard him say it multiple times.
Multiple times. Wisdom said. Wisdom said.
If I recollect, he always say if he stopped shooting the three so much, we'll be better off. But you got to understand, he's doing that to open up the game for people like Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett. Because if he clog up the paint too, then those three people just clogging up the paint.
Yeah, bro. So what are we gonna do?
You gotta let him shoot. He's streaky. I get he's streaky, but you just gotta let him shoot because he has the capability.
Right. And then plus the dude is averaging about 25 points a game. Dudes that average 25 points a game, you don't start talking about fine tuning their game. You start talking about fine tuning the dudes that can't score.
Well, we Knicks fans, so we don't appreciate the fine china,
Yeah, well, you know what it is.
We don't appreciate it until after we broke it, and then we sent it off, and then we ain't got it no more,
And then we playing slow jams like pick up the pieces. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm just gonna call Wiz out real quick, man, because Wiz
back in the chat so he can come speak for himself, man.
No, he ain't no, because Knicks fans, when we wrong, we never come in the chat and be a G about it. When we right, we super chatting. We super chatting. Uncle Freezy, I told you I was right.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
You're not wrong, Unc. You're not wrong. I've been corporate of that. I've disappeared a couple times when things ain't going exactly how I thought they should go, right? So I've disappeared, but I do pop back up because I try to stand on business,
Man, listen, and I still ain't did Wiz intro either. Hey, you know what? For Wiz, Wiz backstage. For Wiz, I'm gonna play my intro for Wiz.
I got the Smoking Nick intro if you want me to play it. I can drop it right now. Salute.
I got you.
It's Smoking Nick.
I'm coming with the heat though. I'm clutch with the free throws. Never seen the street clothes. Orange tears to the chef. Always gon' rep. Gon' rock the spot. Till it ain't nothing left. You may know him from the next morning drive in the morning. Wiz, what's good? Wiz was like, yo, Randle shouldn't shoot threes because he's too big. We going to the paint.
Yo, Freezy, send me that beat with the wave file, and I'll turn them vocals up for you. And that's trying to pop it. I'll get you right.
It's Smoking Nick.
Real talk. What's going on, Adam?
That picture in the background is dope.
Say again.
That picture with the smoke in the back of you, that's dope.
Oh yeah. That's just a concurrent video running,
Man.
I've been working on my visuals a little bit, something.
There you go.
A little something.
I know Freezy's doing something like that too.
Yeah, man.
Wiz,
what's good, Wiz? And Wiz, you came in to apologize to Randle?
You don't avoid that smoking it. You know that. Marines don't avoid that. So let's do it factually. You just did a freezer call Grimes a ham sandwich type move there, Freezy. I just want to say that. Here's exactly what I said.
Grimes ain't a ham.
He said
Grimes starts off.
Yeah, he said yesterday you called Grimes a ham sandwich, but Grimes been been showing up every other 7 games, so that's kind of ham sandwichy.
Yeah, and what's it have to do with Randle knocking down 8 3-pointers in a game?
Facts.
You just made a statement.
You sound like you underwater though. You sound like you underwater though, Wiz.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot clearer.
So, let me finish my statements.
All right.
So Freezer is doing a move like the fans, like the chat does to him when he called Grimes a ham chat. It was a narrative change. That's not what I said. So here's what I said about Randle. When he's off, going 1 for 5, 1 for 7, then he got to go back to his bread and butter, his drive to the basket, getting fouls, establish that inside game, then he can drift back out. I didn't say he should stop shooting. I said if they should stop shooting the 3 when he starts off 1 for 5, 1 for 7. When he's going 4 for 6 in the first quarter, don't stop. I'm still saying shooting more 3s than 2s is not something that he should be doing because he's not Steph Curry. He's not Klay Thompson.
But he's one of the best 3-point shooters on the team.
Our team does not say anything. Our team sucks at 3-points, so you can't say that. That's like saying Tim is the best coach we've had in 10 years. But you
can't say that when it's a fact, right? We thought Obi was the best 3-point shooter on the team. It's coming back. It's coming back full surface. Continue.
I'm faster than you 3 guys right now. I'll give you that. That means nothing because we're not the Jamaican bobsled team. We can't run fast.
But out of our 3 supposed all-stars, he's the best shooter out of all 3 of them.
No, we suck. They suck. If someone sucks,
hold on. In one breath, they can't say Brunson is better than Randle and then say he's only good because they suck.
3-point shooting, you said. 3-point shooting, you said. 3-point shooting, our team sucks. So if you're best of the worst, smoke, it means nothing. So let's start over.
All right.
Let me finish my statement. First of all. So I'm going at Freezy right now. Let me get Freezy. Let me knock Freezy out first. Because, Army and Marines always got a battle.
I'm defending Unc because what you're saying
but when you say that he's the best of the worst shooters in the world, you can't say he's the best in the world because he shoots 33%.
I never said he was. Oh, you said
25%.
best in the world. I said best on the team.
No, I said he's the best of the worst. I said, not in.
Okay, my bad.
He's so good, but everyone else shoots 25%. But Randle is the best, but he shoots 26.5%. That would still mean
that's not. He don't shoot 26.5%.
No, I'm not saying. I'm giving you an example. I have an example. The example is if I'm shooting 25%, and you said, "Oh, I'm much better than you as a 3-point shooter," and then you shoot 27%. You're still flat, right?
I'm still better than you. Yeah, if you shoot 25%, I shoot 27%. I'm better than you. That's how it works.
If you still suck, you suck. Suck it is suck it. Whether or not you're the best of the worst, or let's go back to the.
So what about tonight? So should Randle have kept shooting tonight?
Yes, when Randle is shooting 4-5, 4-6 in the first half, don't stop. When he's feeling it, and keep going. Don't ever stop a hot shooter from shooting and doing whatever you're doing that's working. Don't stop. I'm saying when you're off, when Randle starts off, which he normally starts off shooting threes only, and he goes 0 for 4, then 1 for 5, I'm saying go back to your bread and butter, which you know you're going to shoot 60% at, by driving to the basket, picking up fouls, making our team, putting them in foul trouble, making our team work, then drift your shot back outwards. Don't start outwards in, especially when you're off. Now, if you start off, which he did tonight, which he does every night with threes, and when he's clicking, don't stop. I never say he should stop shooting when he's clicking. I'm saying he should stop shooting when he's off. And ball players know when your shot's off. You know when your release goes and you're like, oh man, it's just, and you go again. Except John Starks, okay, but everybody else knows when their shot is off, right? You know when the shot is off, you gotta go, man, something is off. Let me see what can I do? Let me get a layup. Then let me see the ball go through the hoop, and then he drifts back out. So I don't even say Randle should stop shooting threes completely for the game, even when he's off. I'm saying he should go back to his bread and butter, shoot 60% from twos, which he does, and he goes inside, no one can stop him. Because he's almost LeBron-like when he drives to the basket, almost. And then drift back outwards and take a couple threes later on and see if he got his touch back. But when your touch is off, stop it. Stop trying to be Klay Thompson when he touches off. So that's my statement. And I always said Randle should always shoot somewhere between 6 to 8 threes a game. That keeps the defense honest. Miss or hit, he should shoot that amount. But when he's really hitting, put up 12. I'm okay with that. So that's what I want to clarify. It wasn't stop shooting. You shouldn't shoot threes. It was don't shoot threes when your shot's off. Is that clarified? Does that make any sense to any of you? Or do you think that's a bad philosophy?
You definitely clarified the heck out of that thing. Right? I still think that Randle is not the guy. Right? Not the guy for what you're saying. Right? And it's not because I don't want to agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you know what I'm saying, when you've made points in the past and I agree with you, I'm like, yeah, Wiz, I'm with you. Right? But how in the world are we saying this about Randle when RJ has worse games than Randle and you say nothing? I don't understand that. Eddie C is in the building. Let me put my thing out here.
Yo, respectfully, and I'm gonna be so respectful. I'm telling you, I'm worked it out. Is we calling people out tonight?
I like to call people out all the time.
I do too.
I like to call people out all the time.
Because I love to smoke.
The thing is, though, like what Wiz is saying, so this sounds like a double standard. That's what this sounds like. Right? Wiz, do you say that when Jalen Brunson has an off game?
Yeah.
Never.
No.
Never. I ain't heard it. I watch almost every show. 75% of it all season. I ain't heard you one time say Jalen Brunson been dogging it
So
up.
here's what I said about yes. I said Jalen is. I said, is he a point guard? He's all point guard, averaging 2 assists, 4 assists, 4 assists, 2 assists in the past 5 of the last 6 games. That's not a point guard. I said that just the other night. Didn't you hear me say that? When I called about guys chucking shots up, and he should be passing the ball more.
Okay, all right.
I didn't make a conclusion. I'm sorry. I made a statement about here's what he's done. I don't know. The conclusion is because the players around him suck, so he shouldn't trust them, or because he's not giving them the ball in the right position, so they're missing the shots, or couldn't take a shot, or he's just a selfish player.
And you said, or maybe he's trying to get more shots so he can make the All-Star team. I remember that.
Fourth scenario. So I did call him out by saying,
I remember.
Can I ask a question? Like, is it that his players suck, or is he playing untrustworthy to where he's not really doing the best play available? And that's why, because when you watch him, he can pass, but a lot of his passes be late because he's looking for a shot so long in the shot clock. And by the time you should have passed it, it was probably like a half a second too late, and that's a problem.
All right, hold on for just a second.
Go ahead.
What's up, boss?
Yo,
Dre, what's good, Dre?
What up, Wiz? What up, Adam? What up, Smoking Nick? What up, Freezy?
Hey,
What up,
man, Wiz is up here moving goalposts.
No, I'm not. I'm making a
Wiz,
statement.
Wiz, you move the goalpost because when Julius Randle is not shooting well, then he should stop shooting a 3 and recalibrate his game, even though he's leading the team in scoring. And is in consideration to be an all-star. But when Jalen Brunson is not shooting well, you said
you passed the ball.
You said no. Initially, you said his assist
I didn't draw a conclusion. Okay. Let me answer that. Smoke that.
Okay.
I still had four possibilities, right? 4 theories. I could be 1, 2, or sometimes of those 4. But I was gonna say, my statement was, I'm gonna follow Tibbs' advice. I'm gonna have to watch the video 6-7 times because I've not watched enough of Brunson's passes or lack of passes, and decided on what the reason is. It could be one of those 4 possibilities, or something like those 4 possibilities. So with Brunson, I have not drawn a conclusion yet. I've watched Julius long enough and seen his game often enough in the past 3 years to make a decision that I think if he does make that little adjustment, he should keep shooting, but he should shoot with more high percentage shots and then adjust back to those 3s when he's off and not feeling that touch. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he should stop shooting. I'm saying he should adjust to recalibrate his distance and then
But you don't say that about RJ.
Well, RJ just say I think RJ sucks, so I didn't comment on someone who sucks.
I just want to know. Should we still sell high?
Who? Randle?
On Julius Randle, because he's the most consistent figure that we have. So when people say sell high, for what? It's my fault.
They don't know what they're talking about.
I definitely know that, but I just still want to ask the question.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about, man.
So here's my response to that. You know what I said last year? Last year I said, when Randle was off, I was saying, "Oh man, his value is low, so wait till he comes back, and we can sell high." I said, "What do you expect?" First of all, I said, other teams, other GMs, other scouts know how good Randle is. So no matter what he's doing right now, they know how good he is. So if you try to sell him, if you try to sell him last year, after that season, and everyone's talking about, oh man, it's off year. His value is low. My statement was
I don't think,
Randall.
like Wiz, my fault, Wiz, but I don't necessarily think Randall's value is dropped because of who he is as a player. It's the commitment that you have to, like
I
the
understand.
years.
I'm
Like
even
if Randall
commitment.
had like a year or two left, his value would skyrocket way more than what it is at any given moment right now.
And you got to think about his value didn't drop last year, bro. He was disappointed of the players they brought in. He had his best season as a player, and look at the players they brought in: Kemba Walker with bad knees and Fournier with bad defense. Right? But
I'm agreeing with you, Smoke. Listen to what I'm saying, Smoke. Let me finish up. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing. Randall's value was still high, but not to Knicks fans, but to the rest of the league. Even with his emotional outbreaks or whatever, I think, and I was saying the statement last year.
I call that passion. I don't see that as because I'm an emotional outburst type of cat myself. So I call that passion.
I know.
Real talk.
So
fans who didn't look at the basketball part. Right.
Wiz, what about Deuce McBride?
My statement was.
Do you say that about Deuce McBride?
You mean CP3?
Yeah, because what it is,
I'm Randall first.
I know, you coming hard. You going hard tonight, yo. I got it.
I'm not trying to throw my man under the bus. What I'm saying is, we don't want to establish double standards where we can't have a civil conversation because all the points are uneven. Like if we establish a standard, then a standard should apply to every player. That way, when we talk to each other, there'll never be any confusion about where we stand, right? Wow. Because Wiz, like, no, for real, because if you said, because if you had said,
though, we should grade on a curve though, Freezy.
No, we can't grade on the curve, bro, because everybody here is smart and know their stuff.
A rookie versus an 8-year player, you got to grade on the curve and how they're responding right now.
Well,
and what their production is. I think you got to do that.
Miles McBride is not a rookie.
He's not even a rookie yet because he hasn't played 50 games yet.
No, he's been in the league 2 years.
He's been as long as Grimes have. And you just talk about Grimes hasn't played in 2 games yet, so we're giving Grimes a little break. So Deuce hasn't played 50 games yet, so we got to give him a little break to adjust his game. Especially when he's balling out on defense like he does for a rookie who hasn't even completed 1 year of basketball play yet, as far as being in games, in NBA games. So I'm not gonna, but I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about Deuce. I still haven't given you. I haven't told you what I think about Deuce yet. I just think about what I thought Deuce can be, not what he is right now. Right now,
I'm with you. I'm with you on that though. I'm with you on what we feel like Deuce can be down the road, right? But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is if we just establish a standard, we won't even have. You know what I'm saying? You could point out something, and I would be like, "Yo, I see the same thing." But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Since we've been doing it here for a while, I've been hearing stuff like, Emmanuel Quickly is a Lou Williams type player. Have you heard that? Emmanuel Quickly is just a scorer off the bench. Have you heard that? You heard that, right? Dre, have you heard that?
Oh yeah.
You said it again?
Have you heard when people say Emmanuel Quickly is just a scorer off the bench, like a Lou Williams type player? Have you heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard it before, which is grossly selling him short.
Would you say you've heard it more than one time?
I've heard it a bunch of times, and it also kind of Quickly said that he was one of his favorite players growing up, so it kind of lends into that. There are parts of his game that mirror it, but Lou Williams don't play defense like Quickly at any point, never.
And that's my point, right? Emmanuel Quickly is, if we go by what analytics tell us, and not advanced analytics, right? I'm not asking people to be a nerd. What I'm saying is just look at the results, right? Emmanuel Quickly as of today or as of yesterday was ranked the eighth best defensive player in the NBA, and that's over Grimes, that's over Mitch, That's over all the guys on the current Knicks roster that we say is a good defender or are good defenders. Emmanuel Quickly, based on the NBA's own data on NBA.com, is the eighth best defender in the league, right?
Even
But
higher than
people,
Deuce.
yeah, even higher than Deuce McBride, right?
And
Right,
like Freezy, to that point, over the last 2 or 3 years, if any like Knicks lineup has been successful, like going by net rating, which isn't even a super analytical stat,
right.
usually IQ is in one of those lineups at
Emmanuel
some point.
Quickly is one.
He
Yep,
shows up
yep.
in those lineups even more than Randall, shows up in those lineups more than Mitch. Like if you put Quickly in a lineup with anybody on this team, for the most part, it's going to be a positive lineup
Right,
compared to the average, compared to the replacement player. So
right,
he
right.
he basically is a winning player in my opinion.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. And so, man, Wiz disappeared when we put the heat on about Randall. You see that? Wiz disappeared. There he
Is
is.
he back?
Wiz. I hope you didn't disappear because of the Randall thing.
I'm gonna say something in the chat. Why doesn't C-Mac like defense? That's half of the basketball game. Literally half the time they're on the court. What are they doing? Playing defense. It
Right,
matters. You can't just dismiss it. It's a very
right.
important part of the game. It's half the game.
Yeah, and so like with the Fly God man and others, man, they have their own opinions about stuff, and I encourage that. Listen, if you got your own opinion, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm one. The reason why we have the platform is for y'all to have like to say what it is that you feel. But what I wanted to say though about Quickly and others though, like I researched, for instance, there's a misnomer out there that Grimes is 3 and D, right? And and
Mhm.
and, and in order to be 3 and D, you have to be either good to great at three, shooting the three, and playing defense, right? Or be great at one, like a 3-point shooter that could play above average defense, or a great defender that can knock down the three, right? But at the moment, Grimes is shooting 36.9% from three. And as of yesterday, his defensive rating was 116.
It
Is
sounds like he's
Grimes
been
need
getting
is
cooked.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think personally, I think he has the ability to be a better defender. Like if you were to go by defensive metrics, they say Mitch Robinson isn't that elite of a rim protector. If you
Okay.
were to look at it that way, and we know for certain team's defense completely breaks down because he wasn't out there. So
Right.
some things can be chalked up to a lot of noise in the statistics, a lot of bad luck. But
Right.
to for Grimes, he can play defense. I think he has the arc. He's the archetype to get better at it as he goes along. He isn't elite at it by any stretch right now. I'd say
Right.
he's good or pretty much above average, but
Okay.
I won't say he's elite at both things. Or I think he's just solid at shooting right now. His percentages could be up, and I think he's good at defense. I don't think he's great or elite or anything like that.
Okay.
He projects out to be a 3-and-D player. Maybe in a year or two, he
Okay.
becomes a consistently great one. And if he becomes great at two things, that'll almost project, like that'll catapult him into being near an all-star. If he's great at both of them. But we'll see. I won't dismiss him completely, but IQ is at another level in terms of that, in my opinion.
Okay.
But can I comment on the actual game tonight or from
Yeah.
Randall?
Yeah. Come
Because
on.
I
Come on.
kind of came in a little bit late. We saw basically we saw the best of Randall and the worst of Randall in this game at the same time. Like the best part of Randall is when he's not thinking and he's doing power forward stuff on top of mixing in the three, of course. The worst of Randall is when he's trying to do wing things when he shouldn't be doing them. I think he had maybe 4 or 5 turnovers, trying to do a little bit too much, or catching a ball at the 3-point line and trying to dribble a little bit instead of just catching and shooting or attacking the rim directly. A lot of the things that's like the problem with Randall is because he kind of goes out his way to do a lot, and maybe he feels the need to do a lot because a lot of times we fall short, whether it is our role players not playing to the level that they need to play at, or one of the other two 20-point scorers not playing well. Like, for instance, RJ wasn't particularly stellar tonight. So he feels the need to do too much. But sometimes less is more. Sometimes taking the shot that's given to you is more. I recall the part of this game where he had an open 3-point shot, but he's so used to catching the ball and making a decision with it, he just passed it and kicked it. Like, he dribbled a few times and kicked it to a corner for a contested 3-point shot from Grimes, which is something like you want him to play, not think.
Right.
Because it feels like he gets stuck in his head a lot when teams start doubling him, and he needs to play and make quicker decisions and not too much of the dribbling. It just goes straight downhill. But I was glad how well he played tonight. Played with excellent effort. And I also want to comment on Hartenstein. This is the first time I've seen Hartenstein not play soft. He actually played like he was a 7-foot, 250-pound center in his league tonight.
Right.
And I'm appreciative of what he did tonight. He actually played to his size. He played big. And I'm so used to him playing like a 6'8". He played like a 6'8" undersized power forward for a lot of this season. And he showed up tonight. He protected the rim. He had 2 clutch blocks. And he wasn't a negative. I was starting to question why Tibbs was holding him into the game down the stretch. Right. And it paid off. It paid off in the end because we saw earlier in the game, while Sims had pretty good, like Sims was pretty active.
Okay.
You could see that you can't make up for being 7 foot.
Right.
You can't just overcompensate just because you jump high or you have a long wingspan. You have to be legitimately 7 foot to do some of the things. Like a lot of the shots that Donovan Mitchell went into the paint against Hartenstein, he probably would have finished over Sims or drew a foul on him just because Sims isn't that tall.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm appreciative of how the game ended. But yeah, that was a little bit of a spiel of what I took from the game. But go ahead, Freezy.
Easy on Randall, bro. easy on
I'm
Randall.
a hate on Randall. I'm saying we saw the greatness of Randall and some of the bad parts of Randall. That's all. It was a lot of greatness because he was hitting this. It's a make or miss league, and he was hitting the shots tonight. But the shots that I don't like to see him take are the ones where he's like trying to isolate in the mid range, and a lot of those times, that's like giving defenses an out. If you're like isolating from 20 to 16 feet and not putting pressure on the defense and taking a contested mid range jumper, and analytics say it's the worst shot you can take, especially if you're not an elite mid range jump shooter, which he hasn't been this year. So I would just like for him to eliminate some of that and him focusing on just being the power forward bowling ball that's unstoppable that he can be, and mixing in the 3-point shot, which he did tonight. That's it. I saw a lot of the greatness in Julius Randle.
So before Freezer called me out on being a Randle hater with his threes, I was coming out here just to pick on Brunson. I was just about to, I came on here with the only agenda was, why is my point guard getting 4 assists when he's off of the shooting with almost 14 points? My power forward has 4 assists. My backup center has 4 assists in 26 minutes. My backup shooting guard, talking about IQ, has 6 assists in 20-something minutes. My
You know what? You know what? To be absolutely honest about Brunson, I wish his assist totals were higher,
that's 3
but
assists.
I really do wish he had like the lead guard skill set because
That
these are
was
one of
kind
those
of
nights where like prime Kyle Lowry, for instance, he knows his shot is not falling. He'll wind up with 11 or 12 assists just because.
Okay.
And I feel like this is at this level, this is the first year he's ever gotten to be the lead guard.
Yep.
Right.
So maybe it takes time for him to build that IQ, that acumen, that skill set to build into it to be a better playmaker because you just really need the
So you
reps.
grade him on a curve. You're grading him on a curve compared to Randall, aren't you?
I'm
Freeze, you hear
grading him
that?
on a
He's graded
curve
him on a
for this
curve.
particular role because he's
I know,
been
I
new to
understand.
this role.
That's all I'm
Whereas
saying. He
Randall
should
has
adjust for.
been Randall has yeah, like Wiz, like Randall has been in this
You are
particular
making my
role.
point. So Freeze, go
Yeah.
after him, man, because you're saying no. We got to set a standard.
Yeah. The standard is if you make an assessment, apply that
Mhm.
assessment to everyone equally.
Fair.
With a curve adjustment for
Right.
certain scenarios,
So
like brand new.
if you're grading on the curve, say based on what Wiz says, if you're grading on the curve that this is Jalen Brunson's first time being the lead ball handler for his own franchise, right? If you're saying that, then you also have to use that logic, in my opinion. In order to be fair, in order to be consistent, you have to use that same type of logic with everybody else on the team. Like this is Randall's first year playing with the point guard with the Knicks. You got to shoot Randall some bail,
Okay,
right?
I see that. I got okay.
Yeah,
I got that.
because if everybody needs orientation, if one player needs orientation, why not everybody? This is RJ's first year playing with a real point guard, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but this is also RJ's most efficient season, if that's fair.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness!
Even though it's not,
Oh
even though
my
it's not,
goodness.
even though it's not the most efficient you want it to be.
Even though it's not
It's
ideal,
his
it's
most
better
efficient.
than what we've seen in the past. Yeah,
Right.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
So
not a random RJ hater. I'm not
I'm
RJ
gonna
hater,
go.
but
I'm gonna go super analytical with you, Wiz. The
yes,
league
I love it.
average true shooting statistic is for RJ's position is 57.
yeah,
57 true shooting.
yeah.
RJ over the
Mhm.
last 25 games has been at 58. So,
Mhm.
Right.
and we're comparing him to the years before. He's been at 51, 52,
Yeah.
the 51, 52 mark. So his general
Right.
efficiency has gone up. He's finishing around the rim at a higher clip than
Right.
he's ever has. And so, like,
But
I
he's
don't want
slightly
to
above
keep
average,
giving
right?
him an
He's slightly
out,
above the mean.
but
You're saying
yeah,
he's
go
slightly
ahead,
above
Wiz.
the average, right? You said he's
Yeah,
slightly
he's
above
he's
the average right now.
yeah,
Okay.
he's
Honest, okay.
yeah, he's above the
Not for the
average true
season.
shooting.
Not for the season.
Not for the
The last,
season. The
the last
last
25
25 or
days,
so games, which
Yeah.
is
he's
Yeah.
slightly
the
above
barometer I want to
average.
hold him to.
Right, but I've always said RJ is a slightly above average ball player. And the last
Yeah.
25 games, I think he's playing
What
what
do
he's
you
supposed to
have?
be doing.
What do you have from? I think you got something
Well,
against.
well,
He got
to be
You
fair,
got something against dudes from the West Indies.
No, he's from Duke. From Duke. I'm a North Carolina fan. I'm an NC fan. That's what.
well, to be fair, Wiz, on RJ's volume and considering the difficulty of the shots he takes, him
You mean
shooting
the
58
layups?
true shooting is very good. That's
You mean the layups he
pretty good.
takes or the layups he misses? You mean?
Yeah, it's pretty good
Okay.
for him.
Okay.
It's pretty good, especially
No,
comparing
I
where
want to hear
he's
for him.
been.
I want to hear for number 3 draft pick for a guy who was the
I mean, it's not our fault,
prized
man. We got
possession
the
of the
number
Knicks.
3 pick. We would be having a different conversation if we had y'all, of course. But
I didn't.
RJ is who he is,
know.
unfortunately.
I'm not hating RJ. I mean, I like RJ. He's a nice young man. He's West Indian, so he's got some good upbringing. Obviously, Of course, they played on what in Brooklyn, so you can't really ask him to be a little bit more aggressive because he's not used to that aggression.
Yeah, it's
He's
people from
Canadian.
Queens. Yeah,
Canadians are passive.
I think
People.
RJ need to eat more ripe plantain to get better at his game.
yeah.
He needs to
That's what
spend.
he
He
needs.
spent a weekend. He spent a week, one weekend in Fort Greene projects, and then
No, thank you.
ball.
No, thank you. No. Hey, but Wiz, like, because what I'm getting at, man, is with our conversations, what happened is sometimes the fandom outweighs the tangible stuff, right?
Yes.
Like sometimes, like the Knicks lost 4 in a row, and Randle was putting up decent numbers, and everybody critiqued everything that Randle did, and instead of critiquing the entire team, including the coach, right?
My only critique was coach and Brunson, by the way. But go ahead, I understand. But most of the fans were doing the opposite.
So Dre, you heard what I said just now? I
I
was like
mixed it for a split second.
during the 4-game losing streak,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was criticizing Randle instead of critiquing the team and the coach. And Wiz just said, "Yeah, I was critiquing the coach and Brunson."
but not Randle. I wasn't critiquing Randle. I was not.
Okay.
I didn't mention Randle the past 4 games. I literally was going after Brunson the most.
Right,
but I went after Tibbs every game. Win or lose, I go after Tibbs. I'm sorry. I'm one of those guys who, not that I don't like Tibbs, I just don't like him for this team.
Tibbs is still a war criminal, but he did a good job tonight.
Yeah. And so and so what because what I've been hearing is like I've been watching other content creators do stuff, man, and I like what there are a few. I like what we have here, where it's an open dialogue where I'm not gonna push anything on you guys. Like the chat, like David L and Nick Yak and Manchild and others, man. I like the fact that y'all come in and speak your mind, and we'll just talk about it, man. I ain't trying to push no agenda on y'all. Now will I get excited as a Knicks fan? Yes, I'm a Knicks fan. Let's make that clear. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a root for my Knicks the way I want to root for my Knicks, not for what somebody tell me to do. You know what I'm saying? People in the Knicks universe can't tell me what to do. Period. I root for my Knicks the way I want to, right? And I
as
expect
a
y'all
number
to
one
do
chief rocker as you should,
right,
man.
right. and
Yes.
I expect y'all to root for the team the way y'all want to, out of respect for y'all. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes our conversations will be like tonight in a win where Randle scored 36 and had 14 rebounds.
Yeah, he balled.
13.
And tonight where Randle scored 36 and where Jalen Brunson maybe MIA for like maybe the second game in a row. Is this the second game in a row?
Oh no, it's been more than that. It's like 4.
Right.
Has it been that long? Damn.
Oh, you been watching?
Yeah.
I've been watching it. Just
we won't say anything about Brunson, bro. And I don't want to critique Brunson, right? But I can understand if somebody else would say something like what Wiz was saying about his assist totals, right?
It's not just the assist totals. It's the fact that he disappears in the biggest moments, right? Like the missed free throws, the turnovers, the just the plays that he makes. Just go back and watch like 8 or 9 of the games when it's close and what he does.
It's actually funny because like the only clutch free throw shooter we got on this team is RJ. Because everyone else misses free throws at the end of the game, but him for whatever reason he misses them in the second quarter. But for the fourth quarter, I don't know. He just never misses them in the fourth.
Right.
He'll miss them in every other quarter though.
I would say, to Wiz's point, right? And listen, the Knicks beat the Cavs. We broke our the losing streak. I'm excited about that. But since we're talking about Brunson, Wiz, what the thing is that where I disagree with you at with Jalen Brunson, and it's not because I'm being disagreeable, because I think you're onto something. I just think it's incomplete, right? What I think is going on with
Before you finish,
Brunson.
let me say I drew no conclusion. I just simply just pointed out the facts as they appear with 4 theories. That's what I did. I didn't have any. I came to no conclusion yet.
Theories. So and
But
theories have to be
yes,
proven by the scientific method, right?
precisely. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for someone else to prove it for me. I'm not the scientist in this particular scenario with Brunson because I'm not like Pibbs probably knows about me. I haven't
Okay.
watched the videos
So
4 or 5 times yet.
okay. All right. So here's the thing. I don't think it's an assist issue with Brunson. I think it's a decision-making issue with Brunson. You feel me?
Mm. Yeah.
I think with better or more consistent decision making, I think those the assist total will be higher. Like, how is it that Brunson only finds Grimes on the wings for 3 that he has to attack a closeout, but Randle always finds Grimes in the corners where he can get a shot off? Anybody else notice that?
Facts.
Randall find anybody in that corner wide open though. You know, he got that vision.
That's something like that's kind of a because we've been in this read and react system for a minute. It's kind of one of the pet moves that Randall likes. He's been doing it since what's his name was here. Reggie Bullock was here. That's one of his things that he's learned to do.
You're speaking facts right now. Continue.
And one last thing, like when he gets doubled, it's because that's one of his things. When he gets doubled, it becomes predictable where he's gonna throw the ball because that's one of his pet moves. Like he knows what to do in that situation. So, like for Randall, it's kind of like a creature or habit thing. Like with him, and for Brunson, it's kind of the same thing.
Objection.
What do you feel?
I agree with that objection.
I object.
I agree with that.
So here's why I object, Dre. Here's why I object. Because teams do the same thing to both players, but on different spots on the floor. When Brunson goes to the sideline, the last 4 teams we played look to trap him on the sideline in a double situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a double situation, and he does not find Grimes. Right? Randall,
counselor.
Randall will get doubled when he is in the painted area with his. If Randall ever turned his back to the basket, the double team comes. Right. Right. The double comes. So Randall, knowing it while he is slow at getting the ball out of his hands to open shooters, right? While he is doing that, teams will double team Randall and they will double team Brunson. Right?
Can I is it because that Randall may be taller that he can see the corner the person over Brunson? Can that be a factor?
There are physical limitations to Brunson.
I'm just asking the question.
Well, I didn't get that far yet. The thing I wanted to clarify is that Randall is slow to pass the ball out of a double team, and Jalen Brunson, we didn't talk about the double team scenarios. So I want to talk about the double team scenarios with Brunson also, because when Brunson gets out of the middle of the floor and goes to one wing or the other, teams have been the last 4 games. I noticed it for real. Like I think it like 6 games ago, I said I'm going to look at it, and then I think I've been looking at it like the last 4 games. Brunson looks to turn the corner, and they trap. Right? Cleveland did it tonight. One time he beat them to the rim. Right? It's just a foot race, him versus 2 guys. Right? The other time they came baseline and closed the trap in, and Brunson dribbled back out towards half court and reversed the ball. Right? Well, that's the only thing
Brunson,
that.
Yeah, like I feel because with Brunson, he feels like he needs to bring the ball back to the center of the court, and Randall is like, my escape hatch is in the corner, so I'm gonna just throw it over there. Like I think they have 2 different philosophies of how to beat a double, and I want to give the Cleveland Cavaliers
it's the same philosophy. It's just they execute it different.
I don't think that's
And I
true.
want to say like
I think Randall thrives in the 2-man game, right? So like if he set a screen with you and your man doubles, he's gonna look for you first, right? Instead of just trying to like sometimes you may not be open or you may not be hot. You know, it just depends on how you feel in that moment in the time of that periodic time of the game. You know.
Right. And so,
yeah,
so I just want to
wanna,
clarify. Let me clarify just real quick. So Brunson will escape dribble, right, and pass the ball around the perimeter. 2 people will touch it, and so the ball will get to the guy in the corner for the 3. But Brunson will get the hockey assist, which isn't counted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Julius Randle will pass that ball directly to the corner. You feel
Which
me?
is
Like Randle
yeah,
wants the assist, Brunson gets the hockey assist.
which is
Right.
this is
That's
why I
why
was like,
tonight.
which is why I feel like I
I
don't.
don't condemn Brunson. Go ahead. No, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, wait. No. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
I said that's why tonight's game I'm gonna watch it 4 or 5 times, like Tip says, to make a true assessment of Brunson's 4 assists. Because we had 26 assists and so many guys had assists. How many of those assists by Mike Grimes or IQ or was because Brunson got the hockey assist and those guys got that credit. So I'm gonna wait for that assessment before I gotta wait for the videotape. So I'm gonna go. Let's go to videotape. My boy,
Wonder Wolf.
Wonder Wolf. You should say. So I'm gonna wait for that. But I think that's a possibility. I still haven't condemned Brunson yet. It's just very curious to see a guy who's our point guard has off nights and only put up 2, 4, 4, and 4 assists in 5 games.
So Wiz, you missing what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you miss what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Brunson's decision making can be spotty at times, but Brunson, for the most part, does make the right play, but it doesn't show up in the assist column.
Right.
No, I was agreeing with that. That's what I was agreeing with. I was agreeing that
okay.
tonight was probably that.
Okay.
That's why when you said that, I wanted to confirm that I think it's a possibility.
And I wanted to give the Cavs credit because they have a top 3 defense, and sometimes it comes down to making shots. And the last game we lost, RJ and Randall combined for 0 threes. Tonight they had 11.
Okay.
And that's partially due to the fact
Randall had 8.
Yeah, he had 8 and RJ had 3.
Okay, I just want to make sure my Randall fans hear that when he said those 2 had 11. It kind of sounds like
we not but unlike the RJ fans, Wiz, we not that petty because it's on paper what's happening. You know what I mean? We can stand on it.
I want to clarify because
you ain't got to clarify what we can actually stand on what's been happening. You feel me? We got the stats to prove it. You know what I mean?
Well, you can, but there's some random fans who want to make sure it's clarified.
And Manchild is right. They double Brunson also at times. Right. And Manchild, what I'm speaking to specifically is when they try to run the pick and roll off the wing. Right. And what teams are doing is bringing 3 guys to defend 2 guys and forcing Brunson to escape dribble back out to half to reset the offense. And while Brunson does that, the opposing team resets their defense. You feel me? Like they're not going to stay in that trap position and Brunson escape the trap. They're going to reset, glue back to men. You know what I'm saying? And in most cases, Brunson will call for another screen up top and reset and probably do this thing. I call it the whiz. I named the play after Wisdom. It's a play where the Knicks player gets the screen, they head towards the rim, and they make a hard left turn and go parallel to the free throw line. Where like if the defender, if the big is up in the up position and it's not dropped, they zig across his face, to try to pull him away so that there may be a lob back on the other side, or to get closer to the guy in the other corner to shoot the 3 or shoot the elbow jumper.
Wow, that's like a brilliant play, like a whiz.
I thought you called it the whiz because they stay parked.
Oh,
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 I
you
was
said like, hey, y'all thought I called it
I,
Wiz
I want to
because
say
they did. Oh, go ahead, Dre.
I was gonna say like also like a lot of the things that the elite passers in this league do, like the Trey Youngs or the Garlands or Chris Pauls of the world, they also have the ability to throw lobs from different angles with both hands. And if you were to when we talk about assists, the elite guards stat pads their assists and they fluff them up with lobs. And Brunson has legitimately only 18 assists this year to Mitch. And when you look at like the lob catchers in this league, there's guys that have 60 plus lobs so far in this league. And they're all and when you look up who has them, they're guys with point guards that can throw lobs from all types of angles and with either hand. And I think it's something that Brunson needs to work on. And it's something that Brunson needs to work on because if he had the ability to throw the lob, given his size, because he's only 6 foot on a good day, a lot of the times he tries to throw them, they get blocked or get
It's
punched
not that
away.
he doesn't
Because
have the ability to throw the lob, fam. It's the fact that he's actually late when he throws it, so he gets blocked because he's looking to
it,
score first, and then he's looking for
it,
bailout lobs. So when you're
no,
looking
no,
for
no, 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 no.
bailout lobs, you were late. No, I'm not questioning what you said. I'm telling you what I see. What I see is that he's always late on his assists. So when you late on your assists, you ain't hitting people in stride. And when you're not hitting people in stride, that gives the defender a moment to catch up. That's how you get blocked
That's fair.
That's how you get
That's
blocked on the
fair.
alley.
That's fair to say, but a lot of point guards like Trae Young, he commits to the lob late because he's always selling that floater, and teams he makes the defense figure out what to do first. And if they come up on his floater, respect his floater, that lob comes out very late. He always throws a late lob, but it's the ability to get it off with either hand is something that Brunson doesn't have right now. He can't throw a lob with either hand.
man. I got to take my boy Brunson, man. Come on, man.
And no,
Look,
I'm
Brunson.
keeping it a buck.
I know,
Like
I'm joking.
his
I'm
actual
joking.
passing ability isn't that elite. Like
I
you know
don't think
how
it's the passing ability. I just think it's his vision, like his offensive awareness, right? Your offensive awareness just means that like you're not only looking for yourself to score, you're looking for other people. And he turns his back and his head is not on the swivel. So when your head is not on the swivel and your head is kind of
but Smoking Nick,
down, you're
Smoking Nick.
missing the
I
passing
wouldn't say that.
No,
people.
no,
I
no,
think
no, no.
I
I'm
disagree
I'm
with that too,
agreeing
man.
with you. We're agreeing in a different way. If he doesn't
Nah,
have that
I
particular
disagree.
skill set in his bag, he's not gonna look for it. If he
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
have the
I agree.
right-handed
I agree.
lob, if he doesn't have the right-handed lob in his bag, that's something you actually have to work on. Your
No.
offhand lobs, your offhand passes, your offhand skip passes. That's something that Trae Young and Darius Garland and the Chris Pauls of the world have,
And
where they
their
can just
ability
pull it
is
out
just
at any given point.
different than his as well, for sure.
I
Right.
disagree. I'm never.
I
I'm
don't. I don't.
never.
I don't.
I'm never.
I haven't. I'm being 100% serious with you, Wiz. I haven't seen very many offhand dishes from Brunson.
Right. And
He's
I think the
very
reason is not
skilled
because he
in
can do it.
isolation. I don't. I don't think that there's levels of playmaking.
I
Some
don't think it's
guys
because
are
he can do it.
legitimately great at passing with either hand to the same level, to the same degrees. LeBron is, for instance, he can
I
pass
think
with
Brunson
left or
has
right
it
hand.
Hey,
though.
how
Brunson
often
has
have you?
it.
How
Go ahead.
often? But how often have you seen and I know Brunson is a lefty. I understand, right?
Yeah.
But how often have you seen Brunson penetrate the lane and make a pass to the right side of the floor?
Interesting.
Well, it depends on
And
what
so
angle he's coming from. Because if he's dribbling with his left hand going left, it's easy for him to sling it with his left hand to the right side of the court. But if he's coming across with his right hand dribbling or like snaking a pick and roll coming down the lane, you'll never see him with his right hand dump down the ball or throw a lob with his right hand.
no, you
And
won't
that's
see it. And the reason, but Dre, the reason why I say that is because the
what
other night I was raising hell on him that Obi was open 3 times for 3, and
True.
and it was
Brunson didn't
probably
pass to
because
him. And guess where Obi was on the floor? In the right corner. So when y'all were talking just now, and listen, I'm trying to give you. I want to give y'all credit for breaking something down that I hadn't heard people talk about in Knicks universe, because y'all are onto something and it's intriguing to listen to, right? I hadn't heard anybody in Knicks universe talk about this thing that y'all talking about, right? But when y'all were talking about making the passes with either hand and all that stuff, it dawned on me the day that I was mad as I was piping like a tea kettle. It was because Obi was on the right side of the floor and Brunson didn't attempt to make the pass.
Because
Okay.
he doesn't have
is
the
it-
sureness and his accuracy with his right hand to make that
And
pass on point
I
to hit him in the
disagree with
shooter's
that.
pocket.
I think he does. I think first he doesn't trust
And
Obi.
well,
'Cause Obi
furnish us proof. Where's the proof?
Look, I'm looking from. I'm going to pull up some games from Villanova. I mean, Brunson is one
That's
of the highest
college,
IQ, most versatile ball player, but he has the
Bro, that's
ability to do it.
6 years ago.
But here's why he's not doing those plays. He's not right now. He's tunnel vision to get in his points, and unfortunately, when you tunnel vision getting your points, then what you do at the last second, beyond the second you should have been thinking about another pass, is that you do the most simplest, obvious move and easiest move for you. And
time out, Wiz.
plus you don't trust the guy you're passing the ball to. So I think that Obi,
Dre, let him finish. We got time.
Yeah,
We
I'm
got
gonna let
time.
him. I'm gonna let him finish.
I don't think he trusts his teammates enough. He trusts two guys on the team, if that. First himself, that could be one of the two. So I think he commits to getting his points, and then once, because of his height also, his vision is sometimes blocked, or his confidence in getting the ball over guys or around guys is also diminished. So he makes a play at the last second based on where his eyesight may be at the moment. And he's not open enough to look at the whole court right now because he's so tunnel vision right now. Think he's got to carry the team. And that's I don't know. I'm trying to find excuses.
I'm gonna push back on that, Wiz.
I'm gonna let you. Sorry.
Hold on. No, we got time. Go ahead, Dre.
I'm saying I'm gonna push back on that, Wiz, because
Go ahead.
You think Trae Young doesn't have tunnel vision?
Is
Trae Young averages more points than him.
Dre, just real quick, I'm gonna let you cook, but listen, when you ask rhetorical questions, Rose, people gonna jump in and answer because they don't know if it's rhetorical. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Trae Young, Darius Garland averages almost the same amount of points as Brunson, same usage.
Right.
These other guys do all these things, but they're also elite passers with both of their hands. And when you have that luxury, you can utilize it during the course of a game at any point at any given time. And I feel when you watch him play, Brunson does every single thing that you know Brunson for being good at, he shows it on a night-to-night basis. All the things that we know he's good at. I think he's not very good at a particular thing because he hasn't showed us it on a night-to-night basis. If he was great at a right-handed passes, we would see it. We would see it. This sample size is almost 50 games. We would see it. We've never seen it. Have you seen Brunson throw a lob with his right hand at any point during this game? During the season?
I can't even recall Brunson throwing a lob at all. Just let you know.
Can you recall at any point him hitting a skip pass with his right hand?
No. Yeah, I mean,
He's probably Dre. He's probably done it. He hasn't done it enough for you to recall it, though.
That may be true. So you know that in our mind that means when he does
hasn't done it at all.
No, it means when he does it, it's not impactful.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be impactful, or if it does happen, it very seldom happens. That means he doesn't trust it enough in his arsenal. Because if he trusted it enough, because I've seen him do a ton of swing passes with his left hand, a ton of lobs with his left hand, a lot of dump downs with his left hand. You never really see it from his right hand.
I mean,
which isn't a knock. This is not a knock because he is left-handed. Most players are.
Well, I mean, as long as we don't have a left-handed heavy team, as long as the starting lineup is not left-handed heavy, then we cool. Right?
Crazy. Right? There was a play today where RJ he called Sims towards him, and Sims was like, "Nah, you take it, right?" And he had the ball in his right hand, and he literally did not know what to do at all with the ball. And I'm like,
right. And there was a play too. There was a play too, when Cleveland had trapped like 2 or 3 times in a row. Brunson comes down. He calls for Quickly to screen. Quickly was like, no, and Quickly ran to the other side of the floor. And he called for Sims, and Sims waved him off, right? And then what happened is Jalen Brunson took his man off the dribble and got a shot. He made the shot. What happened is those two read the defense and knew what defense was coming, and Brunson didn't recognize it. Now, with that said, I'm not saying that Jalen Brunson can't read defenses. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is in this one instance, and this is the first time I've seen it since this year or since I've been watching Jalen Brunson.
don't preface it, just
right.
stand on it.
Right? This ain't one of them. This ain't that type. This ain't that type of thing. What I'm saying
I know.
What I'm saying is, for one, playing point guard in the NBA is tough.
For sure.
Right? Because the thing is, if it wasn't tough, the Knicks would have been searching for a point guard for 20 years. Right? So Jalen Brunson, we have to give him time to get acclimated to be the head honcho.
I agree.
Is what I'm getting at. Because he's not going to know everything.
I don't think he's going to be the head honcho, though. Not over Randle.
And Freezy, I was going to say, like, and I was going to say, I think I mentioned earlier in this year, like, the thing that separates a lot of the elite scorers and the elite point guards is the ability to shoot off the dribble from 3. And he's added that part of his game. Right. And he's shooting there 40% from 3 this year. And I want to say, like, self-creation is important. And I want to say, for how skilled he is, knowing going into the next offseason, I'm almost 100% sure he's going to become a better passer with either hand by next season. Like, I'm not even tripping off of that. And
it's not even worth discussion. We already know.
He'll focus
I dropped something.
We know he'll improve because he actually going to focus on it, you know? So I
dropped that tweet. And you can see if he were to throw that lob with his right hand, it would have made it. Or if he would have did a hook pass, it would have made it there. But because he's so left hand, he's so used to throwing it with his left hand, he's coming off a pick going right, trying to throw a lob with his left hand. Like, does that make sense?
I think you focusing on the lob, but I think you really trying to say that he needs to be passed first, even though he can score.
Yes.
No.
There we go.
I won't say pass first.
I think that's what it is. I think. Well, let me say that's not what you think. I think that's what I interpret. You know what I mean? What you're saying. I think he needs to be passed first, even though he can score impeccably. You know,
like. I want to say, like, Trae Young. Do you consider Trae Young pass first? This is rhetorical. He's not really pass first. I'm going to do everything.
No, he can pass from the fact that he scores so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the thing that separates
the pass
Trae
Young from a lot when you can drop 30, then you can shoot from 3 the way he shoots from 3 and how far he shoots from sometimes.
But he doesn't shoot necessarily a great percentage right now.
Yeah, but when you're a threat, right? When you're a threat to get to the rim and you can shoot, then people are open. It's just if you're looking for them. This is the problem with some of our players. They don't be looking for the people that's open.
But
we see who open. They don't look for them.
The thing that separates Trae Young in terms of playmaking ability from Brunson right now. Brunson can get the ball in the same spots. He's just as deadly from the floater as him. He's even better within the 3-point line than Trae Young. The thing that separates the two is that when Trae Young gets into the lane, he has the ability to make all the passes with either hand. All of the passes. There is no pass he can make without. There is no pass
with any hand.
That's a good point.
But Dre too. The thing that we glance is Chris Paul, Trae Young, and maybe Darius Garland, Luka. They can make those passes without breaking stride.
Right.
See, Jalen Brunson can make that pass to the corner if he stops or slows down.
Yeah.
That's not even an issue.
Yeah. He has to see it.
Yeah, most NBA players can do that. Right. What I'm talking about is full speed. He going in the lane. He got a guy on roller skates, and so he makes a move, and then in an instant he can make a pinpoint pass to the corner. Can he?
It's
do
not
that?
fluid. It's not fluid.
I
Like,
haven't
he
seen.
can,
I haven't seen no fluid
He-
passes. No, it's always
Right.
a half a second late or a second late.
Right.
it's,
Right.
it's not. It's not fluid. It's not fluid
Yeah.
because
It's
I
not-
feel like it's really not in
we all
his
agree.
bag.
We all on the same page. It's not fluent.
Yeah,
Right.
It's not fluid. 'cause
Wiz.
It's not in his bag.
No.
It's
Yes.
just not in his bag.
Right. Wiz, you see what I'm getting at, right?
I see it. I understand perfectly.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying about his assist total at 6.5. That's really good. Because here's the thing. For the most part, you're not gonna have a guy that's gonna shoot 40% from three and average 10 assists. That's Steve Nash, right? It's not gonna happen. Right? For the most part, if a dude is gonna shoot 40% from three, he's gonna be in that 7, usually somewhere in that 5.5 to 7 assists, usually 7 being the highest. Right? Right. If you
They're
have
always
a
weaponizing that jumper instead.
right, because why would I pass to the corner when I can shoot 40% from three?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? These are the things that we got to look at. Like when Nick Yak was saying 6.5 assists is about right. You know what I'm saying? I agree with what Nick Yak said, because what we have to take into account is Jalen Brunson shoots about 4 or 5 threes a game, because he doesn't have to shoot high volume. Because trust me, we have dudes that love to shoot threes already. Trust me, right? And so Brunson is brought in to collapse to the defense to get those long range bombers, those open shots that they love to take, i.e. Quentin Grimes, i.e. RJ Barrett, right? That's what Brunson is here for. And a lot of times Brunson gets into the paint. He kicks it out to the corner. The first closeout takes away Jalen Brunson's potential assists.
That's true. That's to a point.
Yeah, and it happened all the time. But Smoke, all it has to happen is 2 times. If it happens 2 times a game, Jalen Brunson goes from 8.5 assists a game to 6.5 assists a game.
That's true.
Dre, you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, and I also want to take into account usage of the other players on the team, because we run a ton of pick and roll for RJ.
Yep.
We run a lot of isolation for Randle. So I mean, if one of those guys are out on a night to night basis, Brunson probably would average 8 to 9 assists, just because one of them are out, and he'd have to take on more usage and
I don't know.
playmaking.
That's still
I don't agree with that.
That's still MVP level to me, bro.
MVP 8, 9. There's a lot of guys getting 8, 9 assists.
But not shooting 40%, bro.
I think
and shooting 40% and averaging 22.5. Think about, man, we're talking about a dude averaging 22.5, 10 assists, and shooting 40% from three, bro.
Nah, Dre, I think
that's Steve Nash, bro.
I mean, that's that was Darius Garland last year.
No, I think if one of those guys was out, fam, that he would be looking to score more, so he wouldn't be averaging those 10 assists. They'd probably go down.
I'm like looking at it right now. Darius Garland is averaging 21.7, shooting 45% from the field, 39.3 from three, and averaging 8 assists. Yeah, and averaging 8 assists. And he averaged 8.6 last year because he had higher usage.
That's an all-star, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right.
I mean, he was an all-star last year, so.
Right. Right. This is what
Breezy asked that question with intentions, man.
Right. Yeah. Bro.
I'm saying Brunson is an all-star. He's an all-star to me, at least.
Right. And if Darius Garland put up those same numbers and Cleveland made the Eastern Conference Finals, I think Darius Garland would have been in the MVP conversation. I ain't gonna lie to you.
When, last year?
Yeah, if Darius Garland, if those numbers impacted winning at a higher rate, Darius Garland is in the MVP conversation, bro.
Well, then it would probably be like a Devin Booker kind of conversation, but not like he's there. Really.
like a Julius Randle type of deal.
I agree with you to the point to where like this is why people teammates matter so much, right? Because if you got one or two teammates that you know you can rely on, when you doing something consistently and you're doing your numbers, they elevate you as well as you elevating them, right? But when you ain't got nobody that you can rely on and you putting up those numbers, but you're still losing games, it makes it seems like empty numbers.
Right. It's just you're just a average cat. But the thing I want to say to Dre though is Dre, when you said if one of those guys were out, Brunson's numbers would go up. The reason why I disagree is not because I want to be disagreeable. Is I think if one of those, say if RJ is out or Randall is out, I think in their absence, he gets the same assists but takes more shots. You know what I'm saying? Because the team would need him to take more shots. So instead of him having 22.5 points or say 22 points and 10 assists because RJ is out, I think he scored like 33 and have like 6 assists because RJ is out. Because the scoring behind RJ is Quickly and Grimes. And would I rather say Quickly, Grimes, I need these buckets, or do I say Brunson, man, you know what you got to do, baby boy? You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say
that's the reason why I disagree with you.
I think both would go up just because he's more focal point in the offense, just by residuals. Like I'm not saying it's gonna go up by a ton, but like there might be 2 more possessions in the game.
And we still talking about
extra assists.
We still talking about his assists.
Yeah.
So
he would focus on scoring more, so his assists probably would go down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because when RJ was out, man, Brunson was on a tear. Remember when RJ cut his finger?
Yes.
Brunson was averaging like 30 something a game.
I remember.
That's
By
what
the way, can I do a PSA? Can I make a little PSA now? A little PSA? We are not bashing Brunson. We're looking at just minor points of his game to make him even better than we already think he is.
Hold on. Why do you need to make a PSA? Hold on. Sorry, Dre. Let me make a PSA. Why do we need to preface anything when we've been bashing Randall for 3 years and he's been dragging us along? Cut it out, man. Cut it out.
I didn't say about Randall too.
No, we need to stop catering to these feelings that can't handle the truth, man. Like Jack Nicholson said, you can't handle the truth.
That was a very good movie too, by the way. That was a very good movie. That's a very good movie.
I just like to just point to people in the chat who just talking about why you bashing a guy who's doing the XYZ.
We're not bashing. When we hold people accountable, you don't like it. It's not the bash Randall. That's the orange tears. We shedding blue and orange tears. You heard what I'm saying? Yeah. So we talk about everybody. If you're not performing, that's what you get. Pay attention. Know what I mean?
There's some new people in the chat.
This ain't wrestling, fam. We don't just pile off the top ropes on the person you don't like. No, we hold the person that ain't performing accountable.
I know. I'm saying that because frequently has people joining all the time. So new people joining may have the wrong idea when they just join in a certain moment.
They need to know what time it is.
No, when they join, we let them know. We just update, let them know. Hey, here's how we roll. We can do that once in a while. I think it's okay.
Yeah, and Nick Yak says, match all numbers and percentages with any point guards, and he is right there, except 3 less assists because Randall has a ball too. And then plus, Nick Yak, here lately, the Knicks have been there. We started the season taking but we averaged like 96 shots a game at the beginning of the season. Yeah, I remember we talked, Wiz, remember that? We talked about that? How come the Knicks were up and down the floor, up and down the floor, up and down the floor? And we were losing these weird games. We're like, how in the world is what's the Memphis power forward? Santi, whatever his name is.
Santi Aldama. Yeah.
How in the world is Santi Aldama killing us from 3? Well, we zooming up and down the floor. It's it's a track meet. You know what I'm saying? We losing dudes in transition and all of that, right? Tonight, I think we only took. I think tonight we may have taken
75 shots, son.
75 shots?
And slowed it down.
Yeah, and the other night that we lost, I think we took 77 shots?
So
The Cavs play at like one of the slowest paces in the league.
But
They're like a defensive team.
And so my point to Nick Yak is put it on the screen what you're talking about. Okay, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Or I'd have to research that and put together something, Nick Yak. I have to research it, like grab it from multiple areas, and then put it on one thing for us to look at. But I'll tell you this though, when I'm talking about tonight, I can put it on the screen. Right. The reason why Brunson's numbers are down is another reason why his assists are down is because the Knicks play at a very, very, very slow pace. Like tonight, I'm gonna tell you how many shots the Knicks took last night against the Cavs. Last night against the Cavs, the Knicks were 37 for 75. So the Knicks took 70. The Knicks took less than 20 shots per quarter.
Yep.
Right. That's almost like one shot every minute and a half. Almost.
That's amazing.
That's called being methodical.
Yes. Think about it. One shot every minute and a half.
Correct.
Of NBA basketball, bro. That's crazy.
Too much.
That's not methodical. That's not methodical. Smoke, come on.
No, that's too much. It's being methodical, but it's also too much ball pounding and not that much ball movement. You know what I mean?
No. But there's another factor. If it's 24-second shot clock, it means every minute and a half we have. How many possessions do we have in a minute and a half?
In a minute and a half, that would be
one.
Not
not
a minute and a half. It's 24 seconds in a possession. So that'd be like 4 or 5 possessions.
No,
it could be. Let's just say 2 or 3.
Where's the calculus is off? It's not per possession. Like how many possessions per game? It's the shot because think about it. But listen, we could possess the ball, shoot it, get the offensive rebound, and that's 2 possessions. That's 2 shots in 1 possession.
I know, but I'm not talking about it. I'm just talking about what Smoke said. He says it's methodical to do 1 shot every minute and a half. He said, easily.
No, I didn't mean that.
I estimated. I don't know.
Let me clarify. I didn't mean the 1 shot in every possession. I meant the trying not to just shoot up shots randomly and actually pick and choose your shots.
I'm not saying that that's not good, but I'm just saying that the reason why we took so few shots, I think, is because we had so many turnovers, and we had so many moments we didn't get a shot at all because we got. Again, I'm not saying we got blocked. Well, we didn't get blocked.
How many turnovers did we have?
It wasn't that it was 17, but it wasn't that it was methodical. It was we didn't find the opportunity to take the shot because we passed the ball well tonight. I think we passed the ball well. I would take a lot of time between for every shot. So yes, there's some methodical to it, but it didn't translate by just the number of shots per time frame.
So you don't think it's no methodology to us trying to look for the best shot instead of just taking whatever shot we like and then
I'm not agreeing with that.
Let me finish, because when we take just loose shots, right, we give up long rebounds, and then as Freezy was saying earlier, which causes runouts that we can't defend. So, and we give up a lot of points because we shooting ill-advised shots. That's not helping us because we can't get back on defense. So
I was picking apart just one segment. Correlation doesn't equal causation. Let's talk about just the point of the statement of shots per time frame.
That's exactly what I was addressing.
But I'm just saying it doesn't always equal because we don't get off more than 1 shot over a certain time frame means we're being methodical. It could mean, because let's dig deep into the numbers and see what happened. It could mean that we're getting the ball stolen or we're losing the ball.
No, I'm not saying that the bad possessions did not happen. What I'm saying is the bad possessions would happen because you're trying to plan out your possessions a little longer. So that's why I would even have a point to where it took us like a minute and a half to score, because either they're holding us because we're holding the ball and they're forcing us in defensive possessions to where we get like a shot clock violation or something like that. Or either we're just, like you said, turnovers or something like that, or we're holding the ball just to get the best shot so we can describe what the defense is actually doing so we can figure it out. So when we could just do the best thing possible is what I'm trying to say.
Or we have guys who are afraid to shoot and decided I gotta give the ball to Randle, or give it
I think you're being pessimistic.
I'm just throwing the possibilities out there. I'm not saying it's true. I'm throwing those possibilities.
And there's one other thing too, or there are multiple other reasons for not getting up a lot of shots. One of the things that we hadn't discussed though is getting fouled.
Oh, right? We don't get foul calls.
I said that. We did get fouled. Come on.
Okay. I didn't hear it, Wes. I'm sorry.
We don't get foul calls.
Go ahead. We do get foul calls.
We don't get foul calls. Do they call fouls on Randle?
Not as many as he should get.
Exactly. That's a different statement. We don't get as many as we should get, but we do get.
And to keep it fair across the board, there are plays that Brunson gets mugged, and are especially RJ going to the rim getting mugged. But let me say this though, Manchild says Brunson had like 3 bad games and he's getting crucified. Nah, man, that's no. I'm not crucifying Brunson at all. As a matter of fact,
I don't think nobody.
I think I mentioned that we should be more patient with Brunson because this is his first time being the lead guard, right? Right. That's if anything, it's the opposite. We want to be more patient with Brunson and let him, develop into the lead guard. This is his first year doing it by himself. You know what I'm saying? The assist thing, we merely broke that down because just because Brunson gets a hockey assist and not a regular assist doesn't mean that the Knicks didn't score a basket.
Right.
That is as simple as that with that. Right.
It's almost like Smoke said we don't get fouls, and we had less fouls called for us than against us. They had 19, we had 18. So they got more fouls called against them. So we do get fouls. Wouldn't
that kind of prove my point though? Like if they
got
more. Hold on. We were at home, right?
I don't care home or away. Yeah. But the fact is, they were called for 19 fouls. We were called for 18, less than them. So to think we don't get fouled is unfortunately.
You're talking about one specific game. We could go back to 30 games out of the 50 we had this season and prove that we don't get all.
They should have 25 fouls and not 19. I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just saying when you say no foul, it's just overstatement. I want to just be more accurate that we don't get as many fouls as we should.
I'm being hyperbolous regardless.
Right, I know. Exactly.
We don't get as many fouls as we deserve to get, is what I mean to say. Is that
on occasion we don't get as many fouls called against us as we deserve to get called against us on occasion.
See, Nick Yak, so Nick Yak so if you go to the line a lot, you will have less shots. Okay. Now we're on the same page.
That's true.
Right.
Let's still go from going to the line a lot. Correct.
Right. We're on the same page.
No, that's true.
It just seems like that would make sense along with some other stuff like, oh man, this also was giving me gas.
Are you all right? Are you all right, Unc?
Yeah, I'm a machine.
You ain't gotta be a machine, man. You're a human being, man. You know what I mean?
Question is that asking.
I'm
the Freezy 3000.
Nah, look, man. I'm Smoke Dog. You know what I mean? I've embarrassed myself on this internet thousands of times already, so I don't care.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask.
So we took 21 free throws. They took 16. Right? We took 21 free throws. They took 16.
Right.
So
that That's decent. I would say that's above average right there. I like
But
that.
we took 5 more free throws than they did, which means free throws come from what? Fouls, right? We
But
took 5 more
but
than
hold
they
on,
did. So
hold on. Wiz, you talking about one game compared to the last like 5 games where we didn't get
actually,
no foul calls like
it's
that.
been about the
So
same
now,
every.
no,
You know
now
what I'm
you're
saying?
trying to
Right.
zero in on this one
It's
game and make it seem like
the
we
same
get
every
all the
game.
foul. Hold on.
No,
No.
it's been about the same every game. Go check the last game. We had more fouls called against the other team than against us. It's just
Okay.
been about even. Actually, it's been about even for the past 3 games. So
Right.
I'm not saying we're getting no calls, just getting less. We should get more. Again, I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying we should get more, but we're not getting. It's not a huge disparity of them having 25 foul shots and we having 15. Now there's some games we have had where they've had 40 foul shots and we had like 12. I'm not
Right.
saying that hasn't happened as well. But I'm just saying the past few games it's been relatively even on the number of fouls called against both teams.
Hey, Nick
I'm not,
Yak, no, I ain't doing that. I don't do that. I'm not a box score reader.
by the way,
If that's what, hold on. No,
mhm.
I ain't doing that. I'll use it for a reference or two, but I'm not, that ain't my thing, just reading box score stuff, man. You know that by now though. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about like what Smoke is saying is that there's a trend, and Wiz pointed out one thing in one game, but we ain't get ready to look at that one thing in one game thing and have it be like whatever it is for the season, because you can't draw a conclusion based off of one game. The Brunson thing, what I'm saying is this. This is Jalen Brunson's first year as the head honcho of a NBA team. I don't care how many years you've been watching Jalen Brunson. Every year you watch Jalen Brunson before this one, he was playing next to somebody. This year,
Or
he
sixth
is
man.
playing point guard. You're all the sixth man, right? This year, he is the primary ball handler by himself.
That's
Period. There is no other guy on the floor with him consistently.
that's not true.
That is absolutely okay.
It's
Randle. Randle ain't
better
Luka,
than
man.
him.
No,
I'm just
Randle ain't
sorry.
Luka.
Randall's
No.
better than him. I'm just when
Randle ain't
Randall's
Luka.
better than him.
Randall is not a
better than him. Just
Randall
look
is
at the numbers. Randall's better than him.
no. What you're saying, you moved the goal. Randall is not a primary ball handler. Period.
That's not. No, he shouldn't be either. I agree.
Right. What I said specifically was primary ball handler. Whether Randall is better than him, whatever. Giannis is better than him. Jokic is better than him.
I wasn't talking. I was
Right.
talking about on the team. I wasn't
Right.
trying to.
But
move
what
it
I'm saying
sporadic.
is Jalen Brunson. Most guards in the NBA operate in a tandem, whether it's 70-30, 60-40.
No, you're right. You're right.
Whatever it is.
100%.
Even Luka for his career has either had Brunson or Dinwiddie or somebody with him, right? Even Chris Paul over the years has had, primarily,
No, you're right. No, you're right. No, you're
a guard to work with him. The Clippers years can.
Nah,
but in Houston,
it was JJ Redick was So
Clippers year. It was all Chris Paul, but he was in his prime, so it should have been all him.
Right.
By the way, would you be shocked, guys, if I said the last 10 games the Knicks have only been called for more fouls on a team one time? Once in the last 10 games? Would you be shocked?
Well,
by that
I mean,
stat?
it depends. The Knicks play a more physical brand of basketball.
And that's why points get lost, because I was making the point.
Go back.
Finish your point, Freezy.
That's why. Wiz? Yeah, and that's why when Wiz was talking and I cut him off, Wiz's point was lost because I had cut him off. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is I'm not saying that Brunson can't do the job. What I'm saying is when you go from one team to another, for one, there's a transition period. Two, if you're learning or if this is new to you, then there is also that transition period, right? So when we talk about Brunson having 6.5 assists, that's really good for a starting NBA point guard, whether it's his first year on a team or not. 6.5 is a lot, right? What I'm saying is as this season continues and even next year, I think Brunson's assist total will be even higher. And part of that has to do mainly with the team growing in chemistry. It's mainly what I want to say.
Hold on, can I ask you a question? Even though his assists will go higher next year because he'll learn the system and he'll acquiesce, right? Will his mentality and impact moments increase? Because that's my main problem with Jalen Brunson at this moment, right? When he has his moments when he ball out and he does his thing, but mainly when the pressure is the highest, he be fumbling the ball, turning it over, missing free throws, and it's culminating, right? Once you could say to yourself, all right, I seen it in one game, but once you see it 3, 4, 5 games, then you start to realize, oh, he has to learn how to be that guy again. We'll say again.
Okay.
Well, Smoking Nick, like to even get off on that point, because he's looked at as the main ball handler, he's on scouting reports. Teams key in on him even more now,
right?
Way more. So when the Knicks go on the road and they're in another team's building, the first thing that they're talking about is we need to make sure this guy has a bad night because he's relatively the reason that, like, if Brunson's having a good night, a lot of other people are gonna have good nights. Where it is with Randle can drop 30 and like a lot and nothing really, like Randle could drop 30 and for the most part the rest of the team can just be terrible. But Randle is such a talent where he can just get numbers just by stepping on the court for 36 minutes a night. He can just get numbers. He'll accumulate.
Do you think he's not on the scouting report, Trey?
Of course he's in the scouting report, which is why teams double him because they know his weaknesses or perceived weaknesses.
Correct.
He's on the scouting report for sure. But there's something to be said where
you're talking about Randle or Brunson? Is that Randle?
Well, I'm answering him for Randle, but I'm saying
okay.
when you're the lead guard,
okay,
and you have the ball the majority of the time, or if it's 65-35, if the lead guard is having a terrible night, there's a trickle down effect where everyone else plays worse just off of that. Whereas
you're saying because Jalen Brunson plays bad, that forces Quickly to play bad, and
I'm more so the people in the starting lineup.
What you said. You said a trickle down effect. So because he's having
if you notice our last stretch,
that's not true. That's not true at all.
Listen, if you notice our last bad stretch, all those games Brunson was not playing well. If you look at the statistics and wins and losses,
Randle holds it down for 3 quarters and needs a dude to hold it down in the fourth quarter, and they can't hold it down. That's the problem. He's not a fourth quarter player. Let him hold it down the first 3 quarters, and you hold it down the fourth quarter. We win every game.
Randle is legitimately one of the worst clutch players in the entire league.
I never did. I just say what did you hear what I just said?
Oh, you saying like Randle should hold it down?
I never said nothing about clutch. I said, yo, son, Randle will hold it down the first 3 quarters, and you hold him down in the fourth quarter, right? So if I hold it down the first 3 quarters, you can't hold me down 1 quarter.
Hold on, bro.
It's 4 quarters and $1. You can't hold me down for 1 quarter.
Are we saying? Are we acting as if Brunson hasn't been consistent outside of a few games? Like Brunson has been very consistent all year. He's been
not true.
Well,
that's not
statistically, he's been the most consistent player because he's the most efficient player on this team.
That's not true.
Brunson is the most efficient player on this team.
I didn't say efficient. You said consistent. Now you're switching it to efficient. Those words don't mean the same thing, bro. I know definitions of words. They don't mean the same thing. Consistent and efficient don't mean the same thing.
If you're shooting near 50% for a season, is that not consistency? You think Brunson's shooting 75 one game and then shooting 25 the next game? All year?
I watch every single game. I know what he shoot, and he be disappearing just like everybody else.
Smoke, he's been consistent, efficient, and clutch. more than
I would say
shooting the ball.
efficient, clutch at times, but consistent. No, not at all.
But I'm just gonna even say this for the correlation. If you were to look up the splits between Brunson and our wins and our losses, those are bigger than all the other guys on his team. So when Brunson plays well, we have a much higher chance of winning. When Brunson plays bad, we're probably going to lose. That's not the same for everyone else on this roster. There's been multiple occasions where RJ has been terrible and we still pulled it out. Multiple occasions when Randall has shot and poor and we've pulled it out. If Brunson is playing bad, it's hard for us to win. It's hard for us to win.
I think if Randall's playing bad, we damn near always gonna lose.
I've seen multiple games this year where Randall was in the teens and he shot.
That's my opinion. You're free to disagree.
I mean, it's fair. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Just to see.
You can definitely look it up.
I don't understand what y'all talking about. I'm lost.
I'm saying
I'm saying with the stuff. Don't tell me the stuff y'all said already. I just wanted to know like what's the stuff that y'all like what y'all getting at is what I'm saying.
I'm saying that
you're saying that Brunson is efficient.
No. I'm saying as a whole, if Brunson has a bad night, it's very hard for us to win. We won tonight, but it's very hard for us to win compared to if Randall has a bad night or if RJ has a bad night. I think
he was talking about impact. So if Brunson has a bad game, his impact is worth more. So it's more likely that we would lose compared to if Randall had that same bad night, then it's more likely we still have a chance to win. But that's not true.
But
I disagree.
That's what I'm saying. The whole thing is conjecture.
Yeah,
because for one, what is a bad night? Describe it.
Gross inefficiency.
If it's just shooting, then we should be saying if Brunson or Randall had a bad shooting night. But bad night could be bad all around. Turnovers, fouls, all of this stuff can contribute to a bad night. But if we're just talking about shooting,
nobody's talking about all of that. They're not talking about all aspects of basketball. I know what you're talking about.
Hold on. Let me just say this. I'll tell you Brunson's statistics in the 25 wins this year, before tonight. He shoots 46% from three, 50% from the field. He averages almost 24 points per game in wins. He averages 8 assists in wins. Now, if his turnovers are down in wins. Now in losses, I'll tell you his statistics in losses. Then I'll break it down for Randall shortly after. In 21 losses, Brunson shoots 42% from the field. He shoots 33% from three. He only averages 6 assists in losses. He averages 3.6 turnovers in losses.
Okay.
So it's as he goes, because particularly we're so reliant on him because he has so much ball handling responsibility. He affects how we move as a unit so much because he has so much usage.
What you say? And I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. But what you say? Brunson is shooting from the three,
and wins or losses.
I mean, for the season.
Near 40%. Near 40%.
What is that? Underneath it or like 39, 38? Right,
as of a few days ago, it was like 40.
I was just asking.
He's at 40. He's at 40.4 right now.
40.4. So he's above 40%. That's good.
In wins, he shoots 50%. In losses, we shoot 33% from three.
So what's the source? What source did you use?
StatMuse. I literally just typed in Brunson stats and losses, Brunson stats and wins, and then you can scroll down for each, and you can break the splits up for each. in losses, RJ actually shoots better. Believe it or not.
Stat pad.
When we
Yeah,
lose,
stat pad.
Word.
when we
Stat
lose,
pad.
when we
Oh,
lose, he
so,
shoots better.
so
Yeah.
When we win, he
by
shoots
the way,
worse.
Dre, one statement you made that could be a misstatement. It may be accurate. Is they don't double Brunson because of his weaknesses. They double Brunson because he's so strong because of his strengths. The doubling is to get the ball out of his hand, not because he's weak. He's doubled. I think.
And if you don't double him, he's gonna isolate you to death because he's that good at isolation.
Uncle Freezy, I got a question. I thought Jalen Brunson was supposed to make RJ Barrett a better player.
Oh, God. Oh,
Well,
God.
RJ is
Wait,
is
hold
better.
on.
Hold on.
Wait, hold on.
I'm
Wait.
not getting at you.
No,
I'm just asking a
stop.
question.
So
Okay.
first of all, you told a lie. Because you said, first of all, you said that you had a question, right?
Yeah.
Then you said, I thought that Jalen Brunson was supposed to make RJ Barrett better.
That's not a question.
I made a statement. I know.
Right. So where is it? So this is the reason why I say the conversations get sideways because hold on, Dre. I got a question. I thought Jalen Brunson was supposed to make RJ Barrett better.
That was a question. It was a question. Posed in a statement, though.
Right. I'm still waiting on the question. What's the question?
What's the question?
wasn't Jalen Brunson supposed to make RJ better?
No, RJ Barrett's supposed to make RJ Barrett better.
That's not what I heard all summer, Unc, though.
Right.
No, he said no.
Right.
Here's the statement.
Here's the thing. Here's the
The
thing.
actual statement.
Who can make the Smoking Nick better?
Smoking it?
The Smoking Nick can make his own. He gonna make his own self better.
That
Right.
man-
So why do different rules apply to RJ Barrett and Jalen Brunson?
Because we
That
all
is a
have
question.
different mindsets.
Notice that is a question. Notice I said that I phrased it in the line of a question to be fair to you so that you can answer. Right?
And by the way, Smoke. The statement wasn't that Brunson's going to make him better. Brunson's going to give him easier shots, which he has.
Which he
He's
has
just
gotten.
missing them. And he's just missing them. So he's got them easier shots and got Randle easier shots. It's up to them
Which he has gotten.
So
He
what Freezer
hasn't
said,
been
the Freezer did say in statement,
capitalizing. That's
Freezer's
the
going to make
problem.
it better. He said Freezer's going to make the game easier for RJ and Randall, which he has done. Randall's taking advantage of it. RJ is now beginning to take more advantage of it.
Hold on. See, this is the problem, right? You try to make it seem like these two things equate, right? Randall.
No. I'm trying to clarify the statement.
Hold on. Before you come in, let me finish, right? Those two things don't equate. Randall don't need nobody to help him make his game easier. He needs somebody to help him win games. RJ needs somebody to help him make his game easier, which has happened, and he's not capitalizing on these opportunities he's getting.
Hold on, Wiz.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm just prefacing it different, right?
Randall himself said Brunson makes the game easier for him.
Oh my God.
He did say that about 2 months ago. Yeah, he said that about 2 months ago.
He said that himself. So I'm gonna take it straight out the horse's mouth.
Politics, man.
That's not no.
But Smoke, did he need Brunson to make his game easier? Maybe he didn't need it, but we didn't say he needed it. We just said that he will, and he has.
Yeah, I just want to say this in the Smoke real quick. Smoke, when he said it, I didn't believe it, but he did say it. But he did say it. He was standing in front in the visitor in the locker. In the locker, they called him at the locker, and they asked him, and he said it. I didn't believe it at the time.
Randall is the ultimate professional. He says things that he don't mean all the time to the media. Swear to God.
But Smoke and Nick, I want to mention like Randall splits from when we lose and when we win are not that stark compared to Brunson's.
Okay.
They're pretty. His statistics are pretty steady, or pretty close to what it.
All right.
Like
I got one specific thing then for you, right?
Okay.
When Brunson was out, or if we're going to talk about splits, right? If we want to be specific, because I've been saving this, and I should have used
Brunson only
it, but
missed
I didn't
3
even
games,
think
by the way.
about it. But now with the bros, I thought about it because I'm actually having a conversation, right? Tell me the splits when Brunson got hurt and when RJ got hurt, what Randle was averaging.
Okay,
You,
so
hey, you know you could look that up for yourself on Stat News, right? or are you
No,
asking
but he
in a
coming for me,
rhetorical?
so I got to make him do the homework.
I'm not coming for anybody.
You keep calling my name, so apparently you are. So I'm not mad at you because I want the smoke. That's why smoke is in my name, here. But you know, I'm just saying.
I thought it was for a different reason.
Nah, Freezy came for me. He was like, "Yo, look up that stat yourself."
Yeah. Because what it seemed like to me is that you don't want the stat, right? That's what it seemed like to me, that you don't want.
But I wouldn't have brought it up if I didn't know the stat.
No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have looked it up if you didn't want to know.
All right, I'll look it up right now. I'll mute.
All right. Yeah, I can't. It's not fair for me to say, Dre, do my homework for me. You know what I'm saying? Dre is equipping himself to bring things to the. You know what I'm saying? The same, like Wiz did me like that the other day. Uncle Freeze, look up such and such. And I was like, hell no, you look it up for yourself, old man. Yeah. Hey, but real quick, Nick Yak says, if RJ has a slow start, is Brunson fault? How ridiculous. And I absolutely agree with that. Mm-hmm. Right? I think RJ Barrett's slow starts are RJ Barrett's fault.
I think
Brunson was supposed to make him an all-star this year. Not Randle. Randle was supposed to take the step back, right? And Randle was supposed to not be the all-star. And RJ and Brunson were supposed to be the all-stars this year, according to what I was told all summer. That's what I was told all summer.
People crazy.
Like we can go back to People Podcast. All you got to do is go back 1 year. It's not that. It wasn't that long ago, bro. We still, you know what I mean? It's not that long ago.
And so for the record, I generally don't go by what a lot of people say, bro. Because and Smoke, you know this, bro. Since you've been doing this, you probably had about 400 arguments with people over what they projecting and they can't prove it. Right? Me too. Right? I don't want to have these La Brea tar pit type verbal fights when nobody can win. It's nebulous. Why are we jumping in quicksand?
No, some of us can't win because we stick to the facts, and some of us can't win because we talk what we feel.
Right, but the thing about the thing is this: like, we started out just talking about, hey, Jalen Brunson is not getting assists because of two things. One, the hockey assist is something that's not a stat that's not measured by the NBA, so he don't get credit for it. And
it is actually crazy.
Is it?
Yeah,
hockey assist?
Secondary assist. It's on that.
Oh, it's called secondary assist. Okay,
yeah, and the announcers will acknowledge it, but you won't really receive the assist in your stats.
You'll see it like Stephen Curry is damn near at the top of the league always.
So I looked at it on NBA.com while this conversation was going on, and I didn't see it. Is it in advanced stats?
Yeah, it's secondary assist or hockey assist, but it is a statistic. It's up there somewhere. I'll tell you exactly what it is in a second.
Because I looked for it and I didn't see it.
I'll tell you.
All right, so I'm at assists per game right now.
You got to go to advanced NBA advanced stats.
I am. I'm headed that way right now. So
see all.
So wait a minute. You mean advanced filters, or?
I'll tell you in a second because I have to.
Or you talking about stats 101?
Hold on. Let me figure it out again because I haven't looked at it in a minute, but I'm 100% sure they have it there.
Advanced leaders. Okay, I'm gonna look at advanced leaders. Okay. All right.
Pretty sure it's there.
Man, my man, like you said, Freeze, Julius Randle averaging 25 points a game, almost 10 rebounds, bro. If we don't see an second all-star appearance, I'm calling a mutiny.
Right, and Emmanuel quickly after tonight's game is ranked 4th again in the NBA in defensive rating
Look,
at
lock it up.
105.9.
Lock and
People
key.
said I was crazy for saying he was a good defender earlier in the year.
No, he
By the
is.
way.
He's a good defender. You can see him growing through the years. He's been getting better. That's why his offense kind of went down because he kind of focusing on defense a lot more. You know what I mean?
Right.
Almost as good as Duke.
Almost as good as Deuce. Don't disrespect quickly like that, man.
See, Wes, there you go with that cab talk, bro. There you go, like with that 1099 affair. Come on, bro.
Oh boy, let me. I got some lines to you, man.
You know,
About what I
Wiz,
do, how I
it's
do.
all love. I just want you to know that when I talk cab,
I know.
it's because you always in the car. But
I
I
know.
know you
You
not
know
a
what?
cab
Like
driver.
even tonight, you know I'm in the car tonight. I just, my wife was at the commercial kitchen, you know, she does vegan stuff. Then I was dropping her off, but she knows.
Oh,
She's
here
like,
goes
"Oh,
Freezy. Freezy.
go ahead."
And put the
When you
link. Can you
go,
put the link in? Hey, can you put the link in the?
yeah, I'll post it for you right now. Give me 1
Yeah.
second.
So my wife is like, "How can you talk to those guys all the time? You don't
You
talk to
can
me."
sort it. You
So
can
I get in
sort
the
it. But
car, so she doesn't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I get in the car to get away, so she doesn't know that I'm on the show. So right now she thinks I'm gonna run by CVS and pick up some stuff. And
Oh, I see it. I see it, bro. I see
Yo,
it.
so
Wiz,
Paul,
you're a wild boy. You're a
Okay.
wild man.
I gotta get away
Secondary
from her.
assist. Okay.
Know that I'm on the podcast. She's like, "Oh, why you talk to me?"
You gotta start the wisdom hour.
Oh, Susan, you hear that? The wisdom hour. I like that, Smoke. Oh man.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. I didn't hear you.
Smoke said that I should start the wisdom hour.
The wisdom hour. Okay.
Yeah.
and for and then they have the potential assist option there. And Brunson is like top 20 in the league as far as potential assists, or top 25, somewhere in there. Per
And
game.
Jalen Brunson, and he is also in the top 20 in secondary assists. So Jalen Brunson is in the top 20 in secondary assists, and potential assists. Okay. All right. Well, that solves it right there, bro. Right? That means Jalen Brunson is a pretty good passer, and the offense is not stagnant when he's on the floor. Right?
Let me see, because I gotta actually physically count down how many assists per game, because the thing doesn't give you a number on the side, which is unfortunate.
I know. I saw it. I was doing the same thing.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
I see a name on this list that I like, though.
He is 21 in assists per game, and potential assists. Let me see.
Smoke. I don't know what you heard about me, but a hug can't get $1 out of me. You can't lack your content.
And he's 20th in potential assists per game.
Okay. You know I'm going with that, right, Freezer? You know I'm going with that, right?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what you heard about me.
Yeah, man.
You know what my formula for success? You know what my formula for success is?
What's that?
Oh man, 10% luck, 20% skill.
Yeah.
And then you can see
and
also like
40% the power of will.
That's
what it is. That's what it is.
50% power is right. 10% power of will. 5% pleasure. 50% pain. Right?
Okay.
You know what I'm
100%
saying?
reason to remember the name.
Man, yeah.
There we
My
go.
God.
Bam.
Wasn't it like a TNT playoff song or something like that?
Yeah.
I feel like it was.
Nah, that was on the that was a Gatorade song, and it used to be on the basketball game. It used to be on live.
Yeah, they used to be on live. Yeah.
It was on the first. It was on the first
The one with Tony
NBA.
Parker on it. The one with Tony
Not,
Parker.
it was on the NBA Live with Dwayne Wade for the first Xbox.
Oh.
No, not the first not the Xbox, the big Xbox, the first Xbox 360. That's the.
I had it
I
for
had that one.
PlayStation, and Dwayne Wade was on it. I mean, Tony
No,
Parker.
Dwayne Wade was on the cover. Yes, he was on the cover of that game.
You sure? I could have sworn,
Yeah.
man, I had Tony Parker, bro.
Nah, it probably was the year after. The first one was 2000.
With that same song? Because that same soundtrack had
30% love,
had Kid
20%
Cudi on
skill,
it, Day and Night. You remember
80%
that?
demonstrated power and will. Yeah. I think that came out in like 2009. That probably was later. You're probably right. It probably was later.
Freezy, I wanna also make a point.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say the Knicks as a whole are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Knicks are like 20. Knicks are like 21st in total passes per game, which is not a good number.
That's not a good number.
That is very bad. For instance, the team at the top.
I thought Brunson was the passer. He's supposed to be We're supposed to be 15th at least with our point guard. Our point guard.
But the only thing about that though is
I was going to explain why
is when the point guard passes the ball away. What else is he supposed to do?
Give it up to people that's supposed to.
Wait, no.
You asked me a question.
Hold on, Drake. If he pass it, what else is he supposed to do?
Well, give it up to somebody that's
how you gonna give it up when you already gave it up?
You want me to answer the question?
Now, how you say give it up? How you gonna give it up if you already gave it up?
You don't want me to answer the question.
I was gonna say, bro.
Go ahead, Dre. Answer for me, Dre. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that the problem with this team, the reason why our total passes are so low, is because we go through. How many times have you seen the ball get swung around the horn and another guy gets the ball touched twice in the same possession? Never. After we run through our first two actions, it's either an isolation, and that speaks to.
So are we skipping over the real problem, which is Tom Thibodeau we not really running the motion offense. We really run the ISO offense. We can all tell.
No,
we are.
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Because
okay.
Who's really running motion?
The Warriors.
Okay. Right.
I mean, on our team. I'm not talking about.
On our team.
Nah, we're talking about the Knicks.
Nope. Because when the Knicks come down the floor, they cross half. The first thing they do is read and react, which looks like that weave at the top of the key. Right? Anybody in here not notice that? When the Knicks come across half, they run read and react.
And then everybody shift to one side of the court, and then they call a screen, and then they get the screen, and then they may call the ISO, and everybody else moves to the side of the court.
At 10 seconds,
ISO. And I'm like, yo, why nobody? And then everybody standing around looking. I'm like, yo, bro, that's not how you play basketball.
It's over. It's like basically simplifying the game, and teams with superstars usually do that. Like, for example, or like ball dominant.
That's why
guards.
They don't win nothing. You gotta play. Everybody gotta touch the ball on your team, man.
I agree that there are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, I agree. Like, for instance, the Cavs of like the 2016, 2017 Cavs were like amongst the worst in passes per game. But it was because they had such efficient, ball handlers. Like Kyrie was very efficient, LeBron was very efficient, so it didn't really matter. But like, for instance, right now the Atlanta Hawks are the least passing team in the league, but they have two guys that average a ton of assists because they run everything. They got
two dominant ball handlers now.
Yeah,
right?
they
got DeJounte Murray, right? The honey mustard, and then they got Trae Youngie. right? So when you got those two dudes that's hogging the ball, what you think your assist totals ain't gonna go down when you got two dominant ball handlers that need the ball in their hand? And we was just discussing how Trae Young is one of the best passers in the league, so he's just doing what's allowed, but he ain't as passing as much. He's not a super willing passer. He's just doing what's allowed. His job is to score.
He's manipulating the defense and reacting to whatever the defense.
His job is to score.
I mean, his job is
millions of dollars to score. Not. He could do assists if he could do whatever he want to do, but his job, they pay him to score.
Right, but he's averaging 10 assists a game though. That's crazy.
But here's the difference.
I wouldn't call that crazy. If he was averaging any less, I'd be disappointed. To be honest with you.
But listen. Here's the difference. Nikola Jokic averages 10 assists per game, right? But the Nuggets are fourth in passes per game. There's a difference. There's a difference in philosophies.
Fourth from the bottom.
Fourth period. Fourth from the top. Like
okay.
The only teams ahead of them are the Golden State Warriors, the Pacers, the Pelicans, and then it's the Nuggets. The Kings are right behind them, though. And the Kings are basically an offshoot of the Warriors' offense because Mike Brown went there, and then they brought that motion stuff over there.
Oh, cut it out, man. They don't got no players on their team that's Warrior-like. I live in Sacramento. I've been watching that team for years.
He didn't say, and he didn't so smoke. He didn't say they were like.
I know,
Warriors.
but he said they. I know what he said, but I
know you don't. No, you didn't, because you just said they don't have players like the Warriors.
They don't. Who?
Right.
What?
Right.
Oh, Harrison, the only player remnant. They got remnants. I'm sorry, Harrison.
But the point was he never said they are like Golden State. He
did say that. He literally just said that.
He said no, he didn't. He said he brought the offense over. That's all.
That's the same thing.
No, players and systems are not the same thing. He just said all he said was he brought the system over. That's all.
And even to that point, they're third in assists per game. No, you're right. And they're third in assists per game as a team. And for a lot of what the Warriors do, they rely on a big man to facilitate a lot. And guess what Sabonis does? Facilitate.
And Mike Brown is a great coach, to be honest with you. Like, Mike Brown is a great coach. I ain't gonna lie, I like him as a coach.
As a team unit, they facilitate the ball a lot. They have like a top 3 offense in the league right now. So and Sabonis is a facilitator as a big, which is the Draymond role on offense. On offense.
But he is not Draymond though. So
he is not Draymond. Draymond does it on both ends. But I'm talking about
Mike
the
Brown
offense
trade for Tom Thibodeau for Mike Brown. Is that what you're saying?
Mike Brown is a good coach.
No, what I'm saying, do we need to make the Mike Brown trade? Get him for Thibodeau at this trade deadline right now?
A lot of people would be happy with that, bro.
Something like that needs to be something like what the Warriors run and like the Kings run. That needs to be implemented over an off season, over the summer. You can't just drop a coach here and expect them to figure out that type of offense. No, it's not going to work.
Right. Well, we can't pull a Rasheed Wallace.
Not with coaching and changing your entire offense. That you can't do that in the middle of a season. You can change like little actions and add parts to it. But you can't do that.
And usually when you do it during the off season, it's not the first year that you get the results, it's the second year.
Yep.
Even if you know what I'm saying? But anyway, fellas, I gotta go. I got a long day tomorrow, or early day. Vibes and stuff, man. Y'all gotta come check us out on Vibes and stuff, man. Vibes and stuff, the channel. Man, listen, we rocking and rolling for the California cast. That's 5 a.m.
I appreciate it.
Y'all gotta get up.
100%.
Get up.
Salute
I wake up my wife. What you doing? I'm like, I go to my man cave. I go to my man cave. I'm like,
man cave?
I got a man cave.
My man cave.
Can we see what it look like? Can we see visuals, or do we just have to hit the acoustics? I'm just asking questions. That's all I'm doing.
I'm going to show you. I'll tell you next time. I'll tell you next time. Even though half of the people she put her stuff in for storage, half of my man cave been like her stuff. Right. That's how I escape. Right. I gotta get walk out. I leave the bedroom. I go. I'll be back, and I'm on Vibes and stuff. Listening to the screens of them. at
Do
5
it.
a.m.
Do it.
Like,
All right, y'all. I'm
five
gonna
does
get out of
right.
here. Peace, y'all.
All right, man. 100.
All right,
Peace.
Freezy.